During the month of May, there is a National Day of Awareness to call attention to the thousands of Indigenous women and girls who are missing or have been murdered. Tribal communities across the country use the day for marches and calls to action to remember and honor these Native women. The Akwesasne Tribe in northern New York and Quebec remembered their loved ones with a walk and ceremony. Our Jack LaDuke was there.
Wearing red t-shirts and traditional dress, hundreds of Mohawks gathered along State Route 37. The state highway running through the reservation was closed for the march.
It's an opportunity for us to commemorate and observe those who we have lost over the years as part of the missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. We're happy that we can have this event today. The weather is beautiful, and we have a lot of community members joining us today to help honor and show our respects and to help bring closure to families who unfortunately may still be grieving for a lost loved one.
I think it's a somber event in a way, you know, the reason that people are gathering, but it's also a good way to unify the people in their thinking and to bring attention to the issue of murdered and missing Indigenous women and girls, but also the whole idea of violence in our communities is something that I think especially mothers, but also men, need to draw attention to. Through the years, there have been several women who have been murdered, but we also have men, young men, and older men who have been murdered. I could probably, five people just off the top of my head that have been lost to violence that way. So there's different circumstances, but and most of them are unsolved, which is the other issue.
As the procession approached the ceremonial site, they were met by the Mohawk drum singers who welcomed them.
The songs that we were singing, the first one when we started to greet them over at the main road, it's called a unity stomp dance. So there's verses from different nations to bring together. So there's a step to it, and that's what we welcomed them here with. So we sang like 5 or 6 verses to get them here.
There are about 30 verses in Mohawk, Cherokee, and Choctaw, as well as other Indigenous verses. Singing the songs indicates that the marches are welcome. The practice is an ancient tradition. At the ceremonial site, there was a tobacco burning ritual, speeches, and a women's circle dance. Living in a rural area, Akwesasne tribes don't get a lot of publicity when a member disappears.
It doesn't get exposure. Like, Gabby Petito, for example, got a lot of media coverage. The BIPOC community doesn't get as much exposure. So marches like this bring awareness to the BIPOC community, especially the Indigenous people.
For Mountain Lake Journal, I'm Jack LaDuke on the Mohawk Akwesasne Reservation.
Jack LaDuke's Adirondack Journal on Mountain Lake PBS is made possible with support by Northline Utilities.